project started doing interviews with Latinos specifically about political engagement about 2 years ago. And we interviewed a number of people. In fact, some of them were in this room. Jose Gutierrez was one of the people we interviewed last year. And of course, he has his own oral history project at the University of Texas at Arlington, which a lot of us have used in our research. So we're going to show just a few clips. If anyone has any announcements they'd like to make, let me know, and we'll make them towards the end. And we're going to keep the program pretty much on time, so this will be short. It's only going to be half an hour of this. But these are interviews that we did in Rosenberg, Texas. Rosenberg was an interesting place because people in Rosenberg had complained to Barbara Jordan, their congresswoman, in 1974, and said, you know that this is not a federal issue, but whenever we try running for local office, we keep on finding obstacles. We're turned away at the polls, or we're not allowed to register to vote. And so Barbara Jordan went to Rosenberg, which is outside of Houston, and was there a couple of times taking some testimony from them. And then, of course, she became one of the sponsors of the 1975 Voting Rights Act extension and expansion. So these are just a few of the interviews, and we'll go from one to the next. Thank you.
We didn't know much about politics or anything until I think I was probably about maybe 10, 12 or 15 when my mom took me to go and vote. She went to go vote and I asked to go with her. And she said, yes, they were going to vote for a man that my mom worked for, and she ironed for him and his wife. And he was running for something, school board, I think, or commissioners. But anyway, I was with her, and we went into the voting place in the city of Rosenberg. And when we went inside, they took her name. They were looking for her name, and her name was on the registered list because she had registered. But when they asked her to sign the ballot, she didn't know how to write. So she had never learned how to write her name. So they told her she couldn't vote because she couldn't write. And they sent us out, me and her walked out. And my dad did get to vote because he knew how to sign, but my mom didn't. We walked out, and outside she told the man that was running, she said, I couldn't vote for you because they wouldn't let me vote. And they told me that because I didn't write. And he said, oh, Jessie, don't worry. If I lose by one vote, I'm going to go back and fight that vote. And I remember I told him, well, fight it now. But he didn't answer me, and I was a kid, so he didn't pay no attention to me. But I always remember that. It just made me feel real bad, like, you know, like we weren't as good as other people that were there voting. And my mother wasn't as good. That's the way they were treating her. And when we went home, we talked about it, and my dad said, don't worry, Jessie. Next election, you're going to vote. And from that day, we started teaching her how to write her name. And next election, she got to go vote. She voted, but she had to learn how to write her name. I think that day, I kind of started realizing that we were Mexican. We weren't Mexican, we were U.S. citizens. And one time, I went to Taylor High School, junior high, and I walked home with a friend of mine. And my friend was real dark complected. She was Mexican. And we both walked into a drugstore there at the corner of downtown. And we walked in there, and I asked for an ice cream cone. I asked for an ice cream. And the man gave me an ice cream in a cup and looked at my friend and said, here's an ice cream cone. Here, he said, but you have to eat it outside. And I said, why? And he said, because she's Mexican. I said, I am too. And he said, no, you're not. Yes, I am. And I took the ice cream and I dumped it on the counter. I said, I don't want it either. And I walked out, and my friend walked out with me. But then I realized, you know, that because we were Mexican, it seemed like we didn't belong with them. We didn't have the same rights as they did. And but from then on, I always fought for what I thought was right. So from then on, I said, I'm going to start doing something to help people to at least, educate the people as to what can be done and what are the rights. And from then on, I started getting involved. There were many times when I left my kids at home after my kids were born, and we'd go and pass out flyers and have meetings at different places and to get the people to know what their rights were.
The name of the river, is this the Brazos River?
Brazos River.
Where was the place that you guys would swim?
Under the bridge, in the overpass, it's just the overpass in the Brazos River. We used to swim there. We used to have some fun there. But the young kids didn't know how to swim, so but we didn't learn. We didn't know. We still went up there because we didn't have no place, just to go. One of the reasons that I quit going there, because my grandfather was passing through there, and he saw me, and he would tell my father, and my father gave me a good whipping. So I quit going to the river. So,
And did he not want you to go because it was dangerous?
yes. Well, he didn't know we were swimming there. He didn't know. But I'm glad my grandfather passed through there because he told my father, and he gave me a good whipping not to go.
When they took David Bijaro, because his little brother was it his little brother or his big brother?
And big brother.
His big brother had drowned. By this time, were you still swimming there or not?
No, because at that time, people started drowning. So we were scared to go anyway. But it just happened that I can't remember his name. I knew him and everything, but I can't remember his name. Maybe my wife remembers. We didn't pay no attention. We were just kids, So he died. We didn't have nothing else to do. Either play ball or swim in the river. That's it. We used to go to the park, play ball or football, and then nothing else. Go to the river, and it was Mexicans and blacks together. We used to, because we didn't have nothing else to do. We couldn't go across the tracks, because if we go across the track, they send us back. They said, "No, you ain't got no minutes over here." So they used to send us back.
David Mijal's brother drowns on a Sunday.
Yes.
And on Monday, the priest says, does he say tomorrow we're going to go to the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Were you scared to go to the swimming pool?
Yeah, I was scared. Because I knew I couldn't get in. So I was kind of nervous. But since Father was with me, I didn't, it was okay. He wanted first hand to see in the little hand. That's what he wanted to see. He didn't want no bunch of kids or nothing. He just wanted one kid. So it was sad, but like you say, at the long run you think about it, and it was sad. It was very sad.
After this happened, when they went to the city council, were you there at this meeting? Did you go?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't go. I went, but I stayed outside.
Why didn't you go in? Why didn't you go in?
Well, I just didn't go. I just didn't go in.
So what did your father say about it?
He was happy. He didn't say, he didn't, he didn't say nothing to me, but he talked to the other guy, to the other people. And they were happy because we didn't have no trouble. You know, when they spoke, he didn't, they didn't hesitate. They just passed the law that Mexicans swim in the pool.
I would like to tell you a little something about this. This is Felicita and Modesto Arriaga. They were a couple in Rosenberg. And Mr. Arriaga had said he did not want to be interviewed for this project. So when we got there to Rosenberg and we were doing the interviews in a church hall, everyone had brought their photographs. And if he started looking at everybody's photographs and people started talking about it, then he kind of got animado. And so then he said, I want to be interviewed. But I didn't have any students to do the interview, so that's why I ended up doing the interview. I didn't edit this. This was put together by one of our students. But they left out some really key parts of this. What had happened was that one of the boys had drowned swimming in the river. And then the priest, they were at a baseball game, and the priest said, why did David go? And they said, his brother just drowned in the river. Why is he swimming in the river? Well, because, why doesn't he go to the swimming pool? Because we're not allowed to swim in the swimming pool. The priest didn't believe it. So he said, tomorrow, I want to pick up 2 of you kids, and we're going to go to the swimming pool. I want to check this out. So the priest picks up the kids, they go to the swimming pool, and sure enough, with their little quarters, and they're not allowed to go into the swimming pool. And so the priest gets outraged by this. So he arranges for the parents to go to the city council meeting and protest it. So that's what this part about it. We talked about the swimming pool stories. This is one of the swimming pool stories. And he goes into a lot of detail. Modesta Arriaga became a real firebrand, and she became very politically involved and ended up running for city council. Didn't make it, but they had 5 children. And Modesta Arriaga was going out and she was going to rallies. And so when she didn't win election, her husband said, were you disappointed? He said, no. I said, why not? He said, because now I wouldn't have to try to take care of the kids every night. So Rosenberg is a really interesting thing. Talking about women's empowerment, Rosenberg was a really interesting place. They ended up getting, Willie Velasquez went to Rosenberg to register people to vote, and people got very excited about it, so they became very active. One of the people that was at this, one of the rallies, that spoke at the rallies, the kickoff rally, was a woman named Lupe Arredondo Udesti. Her parents had owned a furniture store in Rosenberg, and she gave her little talk, and somebody came up to her afterwards and said, you should run for office. And she said, I can't do that. And then she ended up running for office. And it took her a couple of times, but she ended up becoming, running for mayor and got elected. So this is her story here. Now I'm going to get it. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know how to make it bigger though. Oh, there we go. Never mind. It's all this stuff.
Blacks and the Hispanics lived across north of the railroad tracks, and the Anglo lived on the south side. It was pretty much, it was understood. At the drugstore in the corner called Pickard and Huggins, we could go in and buy the ice cream, but we couldn't eat it. We couldn't sit there in the stools and eat it. We could go outside and eat it on the street, but not in the store. In Rosenberg, in the 50s and 60s, there were no doctors. There were no attorneys. There were no few business people that had actually businesses, but as professional people, there was hardly nothing. So we had no aspirations. Oh, okay, I can probably become an attorney, and I can become this. There was nothing. There was nothing for us to aspire to. In 1975, in December, when we had the kickoff rally, that I had nothing political in my mind, other than I'm going to speak that night for them because they wanted me to speak. After that kickoff rally, Falsadillo, president came to me and said, you know, Lupe, you should think about running for council. And I thought, I don't know what this man is thinking about. I have no idea, and there was no way in concert I would ever consider that. But I remember him telling me that. But then the following year, we started the process. So you know, it always takes somebody to say something to put a seed in your mind, and kind of like you don't know it's there, but it's there. In 76, we had the highest turnout in voters to come that year to come out to vote. And to this day, I think it is in the history books as the largest turnout in Rosenberg to vote against us because there were Hispanics running for council. So it was the first time in the Anglo community that there was Hispanics getting in the council. At large, because it was kind of, we had broken, opened the door, and not only for, you have to realize that sometimes it's so hard for me to realize this was the 70s, and I was a woman, and I was 2 strikes. A woman was a strike, and being Hispanic was another strike. So it was, I didn't really know what I had gotten myself into, but at the same time, it was a door opener. And a lot of people would come, and actually the older ladies would come and cry and say, we never thought we would see this. That happened when I was elected for council, and that happened when I was elected for mayor. I mean, it was like all their lives, I guess, they had lived. It was a reality that they didn't feel they were ever going to see. The elections came in and I won. I won for the office, and now that was, council was okay, but being the mayor of the city of Rosenberg, I mean, that was unreal. It was something people had never, ever thought that they would see the mayor of Rosenberg being a Hispanic woman and a Hispanic to boot. And you do not know how hard it was for the employees of the city of Rosenberg to acknowledge that there was a Hispanic woman that was the mayor of the city of Rosenberg.
And the one thing that this leaves out is when she took office, there was a mayor's office, but all of a sudden, that mayor's office did not exist when she went in to claim the office. She had a desk in a hallway. There's a picture of her getting sworn in that I wish they would have included. She's a young woman being sworn in, and she's surrounded by all these older white men, and one of them in the background is like sitting on the edge of a desk, looking on with nothing but bemusement that she's taking office as mayor. She's taking the oath. It's an amazing photograph. And I think we have time for just one more. And this is John Trevino. John Trevino, you will recognize from our cover. He's become our cover boy for this conference. And John Trevino has an amazing story. You'll hear part of it here. The one thing I've got to say is, although this is the San Antonio, Cynthia Sanchez said, how come it's the San Antonio Car Club? Because people from San Antonio came up to help his campaign, so there was a lot of networking across South Texas. So this is John Trevino's interview.
My work at St. Vincent de Paul, which is connected to the church of Paul, there was a young priest by the name of Antonio Burron. He was assigned to our parish in Guadalupe. I live in Guadalupe. So we sat down and in Spanish said, "You're capable of much more. Eres capaz de más." I'm kind of pissed off. I said, "Father, give me a break. I said, at times, I give you 10% of my salary, it's not very much. I do bingo on Sunday night, I pick up collection Sunday mornings, I go visit the families at the night, I go into the county jail, and it's taking off everything I'm doing, I'm thinking, he's saying, eres capaz de hacer más. Yo quiero much more. He said, no. He said, no. Johnny, I'm not talking about that. I said, why? Well, then what then, you know? He said, oh, here comes again. He said, I think you're going to keep on much more than just that one talk. He told me that, and I felt like somebody had kicked me in the gut. Boom. Nobody had ever told me that in my life. That's what Father Boulon gave me. I told him my father was never there. My mother had to go to work since she got divorced, and I never saw her. And then she was sick, and then we couldn't communicate. And that's such a profound effect on me that I couldn't eat for 3 days. Literally. Just threw everything out, and I'm just trying to recover. Way back there, see something said, I knew that once. Way back when I was a little kid, maybe I knew something back there. But nobody, it's just like a flower. You put a seed in the ground, and you gotta cultivate, you gotta water it, and you gotta fertilize it, you gotta do something to, you just don't leave it there and expect it to grow into a big tree for good fruit. You gotta do something, you gotta water it. Then for me, it was another dilemma. Now, at that blueprint, Father Boulon soon after his transfer, so he's gone. My support, the person, he's gone. So I have no other support. And here I am now saying, yeah, but what? Remember, no education, no experience, no contact, no resource, no nada. What? But God works in strange ways. That's why I ran into Underwood, who introduced me to professors of School of Social Work, who gave me a position that gave me more experience, that began to give me an opportunity to see things in my community, to begin to realize that all of these things that people were complaining about, and the remedy was in City Hall. So when the idea about council member, about serving on the city council, that is the one that takes care of the problem that the people that have been dealing with for so many years, that's the only source.
Few of the amazing stories that we found through the Voices Oral History Project. And these are the ones that are labeled specifically Latino political and civic engagement. But even some of the ones that we got from early on fit into this category very nicely and neatly. So that concludes this part of it. If anyone has anything they'd like to say, raise your hand and give it a shout out, and then we'll be able to start our program in about 15 minutes. Yes?
I do want to announce the book series for Latinos in American Politics. The flyers are outside, so if anybody's interested in the series itself, you can look at it. And on the back, it shows how to submit a proposal. And like I said, the first day we're aggressively looking for books. It's a good venue for young scholars that are trying to get the first one out. I've got a good advisory committee. One of my board members is right there. And so pick up a flyer and If you're interested, please submit a proposal.
And that is the famous Professor Henry Flores from St. Mary's. Okay, so we have some, anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Yes, sir.
I just want to express my gratitude to this event. Yesterday was awesome. The panels and the speakers have been very inspiring. So thank you so much for doing this. But I also wanted to ask, were you guys going to have like evaluation forms for us to put in input?
You know, we had meant to, and it's one of the things that we did, but we'll print something up and we'll have it available. And if we don't, because there's a lot of little detail stuff kind of fell through the cracks, please feel free to just get a sheet of paper and just write 3 things that you think were really good first, so we don't get how we go. And then 3 things that we know we should do better next time. And we know that there's a lot of things that we could do better. So, you know, we'd love to get that. So thank you very much. What is your name?
Yvonne Cortez Flores.
Yvonne Cortez Flores. Thanks for being here. Thank you for your
very much.
Anything else? Okay, then let's go to our first session.